person I've ever met. Like, I felt some hurts. You know,
that's harsh.
There was some hurt there, yeah. But but I also received it as, you know what? He doesn't usually talk to me like this. This was like an out of the ordinary thing, and I think he was being vulnerable with me. He was like, he was saying, I just want to be honest with you for a minute. And actually, for it was like 2 hours, but I got a little crushed for a little while, It was but I was able to hear that. Maybe because I was somewhat drunk at the time, but I was able to hear all that. I was able to hear all that as a beautiful gift. He's just giving me his honesty. He's just giving me his authenticity. He just wants to let me know these things because it's been on his mind. And if I just receive that without having to accept it, like I don't have to accept I'm the most empathic person that he knows. But if that's his evaluation, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like I can accept that's his experience. That's what he's feeling right now. That's what he wants to express. Like I don't have to accept that as a thing. I can just accept it that that's what he feels.
You can take it personally and hear that person.
I don't have to make it about me. It can just be about him. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like if a person calls your name, it's like it doesn't. I don't have to. I feel that if you're calling me a name, maybe you're probably hurt about something or you're angry about something and maybe we can work on that together. Maybe maybe if you're willing, or maybe you can. Maybe if you don't want to talk about it with me. Okay, that's fine too.
You can also choose what you do about it. Maybe not continue to fight or something.
Yeah.
Kids, because the kids edit the videos to look like it.
So there's that. Yeah. So the feelings of when our needs are not getting met are those feelings. What about needs? Feelings when needs are being met. When happy kind of feelings, good feelings.
Okay, now it doesn't sound
Satisfied. Ecstatic.
Improvement from where the previous one before, so like feel better.
Good stuff. Yeah. Good feelings. Happy, grateful. Okay. A good feeling. What about hopeful? Or
Accepted.
accepted, yeah. I feel so good. I'm with the people who share my values. This is kind of cool, yeah. Free. Content, yeah.
That is my priority.
At peace. Peaceful, tranquil, equanimous.
I like that one.
Wordless narrows.
The good feelings.
You're fine.
Jacob?
Energized.
Energized, yeah. Larry, actually.
Yeah, it's that you've been heard or something. And I guess that's satisfaction.
Yeah,
It's satisfaction.
Yeah.
Too, to be heard.
Yeah. Have you ever been into a discussion with someone who, as the discussion kind of progresses, it gets kind of tense and they get louder and louder?
Yes.
That happen to anybody? Is it just me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are they, maybe they're getting louder because they're not feeling like they're understood, like they're heard. So they're just upping the volume in like a tragic way.
Right.
Because like, what does the volume do? It's like, oh man, you're way too intense. I don't want to connect to that for a lot of people. But so if the volume goes up, maybe there's this increased need to be heard. There's a possible need they might be having. So if, as I'm making the observations, I'm aware of my feelings and needs, making requests of myself. I'm aware of other people. I'm listening to their feelings, and then I want to connect it to their needs. If someone is feeling angry, why might be they feeling angry in like a very abstract kind of sense, divorced from strategies? I'm going to ask Mary and Jason. I'm going to put you guys on the spot because you guys know about this.
Some guy cuts me off in traffic.
Cuts you off in traffic. You feel angry. Why?
Because my needs for efficiency aren't being met. I want to get somewhere.
You want to get somewhere, and he just slowed you down.
Slowed me down.
What about this? What about fairness? Do you want fairness there?
Yeah.
You feel like,
I don't cut other people off. I shouldn't be cut
yeah,
off.
you want to be treated like you treat others. What about respect? You maybe, I'm asking,
My
like,
needs for safety. Like,
yeah, you didn't feel very safe. He endangered the things a little bit. You felt, whoa, that could have been bad. I'm also thinking, like, for me, like, that would be also kind of like, why would he treat me like that? Like, who does that? I want,
I
like,
make a judgment of
Yeah.
the driver.
let's connect to that guy.
Yeah.
Connect him from
Maybe he's completely thinking about something else going on in his life, and maybe
It's probably possible to cut people off without awareness, right?
I've done it.
Yeah, I've done it too. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Those moments where you just feel like a complete asshole. You know it just happens.
See, what if those people that cut you off made the same mistake though? They didn't mean to do it.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what we're saying. They're saying that like some people can be cut off by someone completely by accident. I've cut people off by accident. Like,
See, I've never done
didn't
it.
see you there. Sorry.
I'm a good driver.
What if they just got a phone call that their kid is in the hospital?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then they shouldn't be cutting people off. They should be speeding. They should be going slow in a faster lane.
Oh, is that okay? That's true. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking about what other reasons why they might be cutting off? Maybe they have a need for. Maybe they're an old lady. What's that?
They have need for speed.
Have a need for speed. Yeah.
That's what
but
I
if
would
they're
say.
cutting
Yeah,
off
need for
and
speed.
Going over and being slow, that means they don't have a need for speed.
Well, if
They could have
everybody's
been. They
slow.
could be listening to Dennis Leary's song "I'm an Asshole" and just got to that verse about I drive really slow. People behind me are going insane. So you've been listening to that.
Yeah. So this person,
Some people are trying to enforce the speed limit with their back phone.
maybe they are.
I've done it.
Why might they be doing that?
They feel needs
Yeah.
for safety.
They have need for safety.
Because you're exceeding
They
the
might
speed
have needs for
limit.
fairness. Like we all should obey the same
That's
rules.
not actually safe. To do
I've
that.
done
That's
that. Like I've driven next to a truck who we're on the same page, buddy. We're gonna keep everything. So that way you don't have everybody trying to zoom ahead.
See, I've done that for
Everybody's
civil
cutting down to one
obedience.
lane.
Civil
Yeah.
obedience is sometimes just as awesome as civil disobedience.
Yeah. So this.
We'll be like, why are these laws 70? Ah!
If someone cuts me off and I can just like, I feel like that evaluation's coming on, and I'm like, let me just reconnect. I'm feeling kind of irritated because I wanted that person to treat me a little better, and then I think about like, I really don't know the situation, and maybe they have some need they're trying to get met, and suddenly like, I don't have that anger anymore towards them. They're just like, I just want to get to the strategy. Like, now how do I go around that? You know what I mean? Like, let's move on past the thing I can't control, and what can be done. And now, if you're on the road, you're obviously going to be making requests to people. I suppose there are some sign languages that are kind of like requests. You're telling them something to do.
I literally just pulled him out of the squirrel because I have my phone in my pocket.
So you made a request. Please don't squirt me.
Well, here,
How do you
Needs aren't being met.
yeah? How do you feel that you got squirted?
Your need for driving.
So you're feeling worried that your phone get broken, and then in response to the worry, you're kind of angry, maybe. Yeah.
My last shirt.
Yeah. So
That took me by surprise.
So would you mind just like reconnecting with yourself for a minute and take that breath? Alright, so you're feeling that you're feeling that worry and that irritation. Now what do you feel? Did you kind of subside already? You're feeling a little annoyed, yeah.
Well, put yourself in the other person's place. What were they thinking?
He's still got to think of him.
I know, but think, what are they thinking?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not having fun and weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know that you made that request.
It's true. I just want to emphasize that, like, I think that empathic conscious has to be me first. I have to be connected to me.
Is that why you do the breathing thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That's all. It's about getting out of up here and bringing it back down here, and then kind of making it come back around. You know what I mean?
And then
Being
Bill going down here.
And then coming around, yeah. No, being connected to my whole organism, respecting all the pieces of me, not just what's up here. You know what I mean? What's up here is great, but
He's doing that talk he wanted to
the
hear
rest of me can also affect it.
on
You know, if
NBC.
you've ever had a
Remember we were talking about
theoretical
that?
discussion where people were
He's
upset.
doing that now. He's talking
You've
about
got
it
a
now.
situation where you have people who are up here.
But you know about the
who are
Rosenberg book
connected down
already,
there.
so.
You know what I mean? That are up in their head.
Oh,
but
because
they're
it's
not
really
aware of
good
what
with
they're doing.
kids and
In
stuff.
fact, most times people are like,
It's really good, that Marshall Rosenberg Nonviolent
you know what I mean? In
Communication.
retrospect,
And there's
if you've
one
gotten
for
what-
children
I've had
too.
those kind of,
It'll
like,
help you listen,
it
you
went,
know,
it was
help you
going
hear what
fine, and then suddenly
your
we're
son
yelling at
is
each other.
after. And that's
Like,
really
what
help
happened
you
in
hear
the
yourself
meantime?
too.
What
in
happened was,
response to it. It's
nobody
really
was
cool
conscious.
stuff. I'm a real hard case, but I'm learning it very slowly. I have a tough time with it. But I think it's really good.
What I'd suggest is maybe both. Neither person was connected to what they were feeling, and then that unconsciously got expressed in the conversation as a lot of judgments and evaluation and disconnection. So neither person could hear each other. They're speaking the same language, but they don't understand what each other are saying because they so want to be heard that they can't hear. And so that's the tragedy of a lot of disconnection. It's two people wanting to be heard, but they can't be heard or they can't hear until they've been heard. And so, and hearing somebody takes a lot of time. It can take hours, especially like if you're in a long-term committed relationship and there's something that's been bugging both of you for a while. That's like a 20-hour conversation. That to really get really down into like everything that's going on there. That can be a big conversation. It takes a lot of time, but I think it saves time in the long run. Because it saves me time because I don't have to have these feelings longer than I have to. You know what I mean? If I'm irritated that someone sprayed me and my cell phone almost got wet, like, just being aware of that, like, okay, you know, and I accept it. I accept me for having this feeling. And now I've heard me, and now my me doesn't have to tell me that I'm irritated anymore. Like, okay, you got that? Did you get that message, Jacob? That you were irritated? Did you get that? You heard me. Oh, I'm so glad that you heard that what you were feeling there. Okay, I don't need to give you that message anymore because it's been received. And other people the same way. I forget who says this. Who says empathy feels so good? It's Edwin. Yeah, okay.
I say that.
Yeah, all right. You know, why empathy? Because empathy feels so damn good.
It does.
Yeah.
Connection.
Does anyone have...
You know why it feels so good?
Why does it feel so good?
It's sending in your heart. And all that energy just flows.
Yeah.
It's no blockage. Otherwise it's a blockage.
Yeah.
You know, when your head
It's disconnection.
it's so disconnected. You're disconnected from yourself. You're acting out of the So you're acting out of the way you were taught or the way society is trying to do. You know, it's also when you're in your heart, you see from the source. And you see that anger or that there is no place for that even to see. Because even that person, if you cut you off, you'll understand that that person might have had a bad day, you know. Actually you could feel it, you could feel the person's feeling before you go in there. So when I could talk to someone, have a conversation, I go back and go back home and lay down and I feel like stomach pain, you know, pain, you know. Last Sunday I had pain in my mouth, you know, and my teeth were bad. I never had problems. It was somebody else, you know.
Yeah.
So that's really understanding, you know, for other people. And then you don't get angry because there is no judgment.
Yeah. No judgment of yourself, no judgment of them. Yeah.
Because you can connect to people that say, you know, even eye contact. You can change a lot of feelings, especially like that.
Yeah. I wanted to say that again, that Viktor Frankl thing, because I think it's so important to what we're just saying. That between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space is our freedom, it's our liberation. If you're always responding to the stimuli, you're being controlled by the stimuli. And what I'm saying is that we can take that back with a different consciousness by getting connected to ourselves, and that starts with the breathing, but being aware of our feelings, putting names to those feelings. I invite you again to repeat that. Start naming your feelings to people. You might not be able to name the needs right away because it's a little bit harder. Needs are a lot more abstract. But most people, I think, a little practice can name the feelings. Just get up your feelings vocabulary and be aware of that space that you have, those options you have where I don't have to respond to the stimuli the way it wants me to. I can make a different choice that's completely disconnected from it.
Is that in Man's Search for Meaning? Is that where he said that? Yeah.
Yes, it is. Has anyone ever had maybe a painful, a sad, or a negative experience in the last week that they'd be willing to share and be heard? You think you'd be willing to be heard on that? All right. Could you just kind of like describe what was going on there?
Well, I had a cop spit in my face.
Okay, so there was this uniformed officer, and he spit in your face.
Yes, he spit in my face.
Shit.
Wow. Okay. What were you feeling there?
What was I feeling?
Yeah.
I want to know the story about it.
It was a myriad. It was more of a shock.
Shock.
Oppression.
Oppression? So you're feeling like lack of control? Or like you
I
had no
felt
power?
control because I knew it would take a lot for him to get a physical rise out of me. But I couldn't believe that somebody would do that in such a public area.
Yeah.
Because most people would do those things more in a private setting.